Table or truth?
Speaking of Fox News and what came out last week, which was interesting, was the firing of Tucker Carlson. It was assumed by mainstream media, because we had no answer to it,
Right.
that it was some of the discovery where Tucker Carlson had criticized management
Yep.
was the reason that he was fired. And then we found out last week that was not the case.
Okay.
It was part of the agreement with the settlement. Evidently,
Is
one of the-
breaching contract or something?
I'm sorry?
Was he breaching a contract?
No,
or something?
no. The agreement on the defamation suit, because one of the items that was floated out, evidently Hannity was not a favorite of the bosses. They offered $500 million in Hannity, and they said no. And then so they wanted to keep it under $1 billion. So then they came up with.
They're going to pay Hannity, who's like about as exciting as like this
No.
bottle of Spencer Ale. $500 million. Am I reading that right?
No. It was the plaintiff.
Let's put this in the fridge. Keep talking, sir. Sorry. The plaintiff, the accuser of Tucker Carlson. Who's the plaintiff?
The voting machines.
Dominion?
Yes, thank you, Dominion.
Okay.
It was part of the Dominion settlement agreement.
Oh, because he slandered Dominion because Dominion is not responsible for any.
Well, Fox News, you can go up and down the line between Laura Ingraham and Hannity. Actually, Hannity probably hit him more than Tucker Carlson.
Hannity hit Dominion more than Tucker Carlson.
Well, defamed.
So why did Tucker Carlson get fired?
Well, that's what I was explaining to you.
Please.
It was offered $500 million in Hannity, and they said no. And then so
who's they? When you say they said no, who's they?
the owners of Fox News.
Rupert Murdoch.
Yes, Murdoch. Thank you. Having a senior moment. Murdoch.
Okay, so Rupert Murdoch was going to give $500 million to Tucker.
This is no.
It's like
to
a
Dominion.
routine. Okay,
We're talking
got
about
it. Okay, so the lawsuit was $500 million.
Yeah. Well, no. This was a settlement agreement or settlement negotiation.
Right.
And so they offered Dominion $500 million and Hannity, that they were going to boot Hannity, and they said no.
Dominion said no.
Yes.
That sounds very biased. Why would they? Oh, because they don't want to. They don't want. No doubt, because they don't want Hannity to lose his job because they're not greedy or anything. They just want their $500 million, which makes sense. Yeah.
No, but they said no to that, and so what they did agree on, because again, Rupert Murdoch wanted to keep it under $1 billion.
Oh, they're like, get rid of Tucker Carlson.
No, the next offer was $750 million and Tucker Carlson. And so that was agreed with, but they said...
That doesn't make Dominion look like good guys, though. And they're responsible for our voting?
Dominion? Good guys?
Yeah. Well, if they're not good guys, and they're not really trustworthy, because they obviously...
What good guy? This is a defamation lawsuit because Fox News...
What does Tucker Carlson have to do with anything? He might have opened up his big mouth, but they got $700 million. How greedy can you get?
$750 million.
Okay, well, you know what? You're absolutely
was not
right.
enough.
If Russell Brand is found innocent, then he can sue whoever is accusing him of $700 million. That's fair. Yeah, I guess you're right. Right? Defamation lawsuit, counters lawsuit. Right? You defame my character. I want $700 million, and if you in some way you're in any way connected to, I don't know, somebody that worked at World Economic Forum, I'd like so and so's head on a platter. That seems fair, I guess. I mean, we're going to pull a Dominion. You know, right? No, I mean I'm just trying to use logic here, right? I mean, like I don't know if this is trying to show the moral integrity of Dominion, or this is just showing they're real douchebags playing a dirty game.
Bringing up morals.
Okay, so you're right. It's just a dirty game.
It's not a dirty game.
It's not.
They were defamed.
Yeah, but everybody knows that they're kind of shady. Hence, they're doing this.
No, they're kind of shady. How are they shady?
They just wanted Tucker Carlson fired along with $700 million. That's pretty greedy and that's kind of shady.
Why is that shady?
I don't know. Like, if the Dominion were not that defamed, they would have looked a lot better. Like,
we're not that defamed.
Defamed.
They
Yeah.
lost business,
What
their
business?
reputation. What?
It's obviously restored because they're obviously saints, right?
Saints? What saints have to do with it?
Well, if they don't care about ethics, right?
Well, why do you say they don't care about ethics?
Well, because they obviously, if you're going to put a
was
defamation that has something to do with the ethics, right? It's wrong. It's morally wrong to slander
morally,
somebody's
again,
name.
you're saying morally.
So then, where does the
nothing to do with
defamation come from?
defamation? They lied about Dominion.
Yeah.
They knew they lied,
Okay.
right?
They slandered Dominion. Fine, fair enough. They get a lawsuit, but
And they
700 is kind of steep. Well, I guess we're just being greedy. I guess that makes sense, right? Yeah.
What would have been reasonable for
how much is the company worth prior to the election?
I don't know.
Okay, let's just say for the sake of argument, $100 million.
Dominion's worth more than $100 million.
200 million. Is it worth 700 million? I'd be very surprised. I mean, maybe.
Why would you be surprised?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it was just software that you put into a machine that can.
No, that's smart. That's Smartmatic. And Smartmatic is currently suing for $2 billion. $2 billion.
Suing who?
Fox News.
Oh, so they're suing. Okay, because they were defamed too. Okay, because they'll never be able to be trusted again because their good name was slandered in the mud, and so therefore. They didn't just want to settle for $700 million. They also wanted
the reason why is
Tucker Carlson's head on a platter.
It
sounds a little bit sadistic. Maybe they didn't want him dead, but like the fact that they wanted him kicked out.
It's not that. It is.
I mean, you can't have it both ways. I'm not saying you with them.
No, you said both ways.
They want to have a good reputation, right? But by them doing this doesn't make them look very reputable. It makes them look kind of greedy and sinister. Like, it's one thing if you're like 700 million, because our company's worth 700 million. Oh, by the way, we want Tucker Carlson out of there too, so we can destroy you guys. Or
that's it.
If this
punitive. It's all punitive. Money is so
not a person's
enough.
livelihood in life.
Money is not enough.
Why don't you just murder Tucker Carlson? That makes more sense, right? Like do what King Herod did in the Bible, right? I want Tucker Carlson's head on a platter, right? That's reasonable. At this point, why don't we just go for the gold?
It's not about hurting Tucker Carlson. It's about hurting Fox News.
Well, you indirectly Tucker Carlson's cannon.
There's number one. They're number one. 19. Actually,
so this didn't affect Tucker Carlson's life in some way.
Hey, should have told him lies. And that was a minimum of stuff that Tucker Carlson.
So every time somebody like. Let's see. I know some of these pundits on the left have said things that have been miscalculated. Well, right off the bat, Rachel Maddow's claims about the magnitude of the Russian collusion, I believe, was definitely found to be off, and therefore you could consider that slander.
You're wrong.
I am wrong?
You're dead wrong.
Really?
Really?
Let's look it up. Rachel Maddow's...
No. How many people went to jail over the... Russia investigation?
I can't even keep track now. Let's see. Rachel Maddow, Russia collusion.
There were at least 10.
True
I'm thinking of 13 people who were in the Trump campaign in 2016 who had talks.
Wait a minute.
With Russians.
The first thing that came up. Hold on.
Let's talk about General Flynn, right?
The Guardian, if I may, just one thing. I'm sorry, there's just a lot. Like hold that thought, man. This is good stuff. I know, like, and by the way, I appreciate the, like the insight on the level of domestic terrorists that are out there. I just need to see the facts on it. But I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just. Will Rachel Maddow face a reckoning for her Trump-Russia coverage? Why would she face a reckoning unless she was right? That doesn't make sense. This is the Guardian too. That's a pretty liberal newspaper. The worst kept secret in the liberal media ecosystem is that Donald Trump is great for business. Okay, whatever. That sounds very partial, but liberal newspapers gobble up thousands of new subscribers. Okay. With Trump has come Russia. 2 years of conspiracy mongering about whether the president, a failed real estate mogul, and reality star with dubious dealings, conspire with the Russian government. Robert Mueller's determination that no evidence exists to prove Trump and Russia collusion to fix the election was exposed. That's true. He would have gone to jail for that by now, I would think. In fact, isn't that one of the reasons he got impeached? Once again, the venality of A-list political punditry. At the top of the heap is none other than MSNBC's Rachel Maddow. This doesn't sound flattering to Rachel Maddow's claims about Russian collusion with Trump, like Trump colluding with Russia. I mean, so far, this is what I'm reading. Maddow, of course, is not alone. The New Yorker ran a cover in Russian, a stunt that will age as terribly as all Cold War red baiting as to our 20th century eyes. Last year, New York Magazine's Jonathan Chait baselessly posited in another covert story that Trump may have been a Russian asset. Okay, this doesn't sound flattering. And this sounds like something Tucker Carlson would have done. Right? And this is The Guardian, dude. I don't get it. It's like they're eating their own here. It doesn't sound like Rachel Maddow, okay, had absolute truth on her side. Maybe she was innocent of that. Maybe it was just like the people that she works for. But they were pushing the Russian collusion thing so hard. That sounds like slander.
It's not slander because, again, with the again, I'm having my moment. Can't think of the counsel that was running the investigation. His name will come to mind sooner or later. But they had a minimum of 6 convictions for those that had dealings with Russia and the election.
Those meaning Trump or people in his cabinet?
Yes. Well, Trump supporters or his
okay, Trump supporters, but like Trump himself. That's the point.
Well, he did say on national television, Russia, if you're listening, can you find the emails? I'm sure the media will reward you greatly.
Yeah,
and within hours, there were Russian hackers who were going and trying to break in the DNC. And they eventually did get in the DNC.
Yeah. Oh, he's like, all right, it's time. This is good. I love it.
Yep.
Dude, we got so much material.
So they did hack the DNC, and then they released it through. Oh, I can't even.
Bro, it's
thinking the name of the foreign.
In all fairness,
company.
I'm actually very open to what you're saying.
But it's all true.
No, can you bring some like sites so we can? You don't have to do it now. But
no. I'm putting it on.
Yeah,
the list.
Please, because we can revisit this a little bit. No, because I think you've got some good points, and I think that in all fairness, I agree. Like the guy's not a saint or anything like that, but I'm kind of curious about trying to balance the magnitude of chicanery that somebody like Tucker Carlson was thrown in with basically what it looks like on the other side, with someone like Rachel Maddow. I don't get it. Like they both sound like slanderous issues. And you're right. Tucker Carlson did slander Dominion voting, as far as I can tell. I haven't researched it, but from what you're saying, yeah.
I'll bring it next week.
All right, fair enough.
Along with the Maui stuff.
But hey, man, anything. Listen, once again, it's been a pleasure. Really, like legit. I think we have some good, ments this week. But I'm very interested in the 5,000 domestic terrorists that might be out there in sleeper cells.
Sir, you all relax now.
She will be as soon as we leave. All right.
What time do you have to get up?
Thank you, folks. We will see you next week, or next production, if you will. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Table for Truth. Feel free to hit a like and join us on our Patreon if you like the channel and want to support us. Have a great one. Take care, everybody. Your number one hub for learning about current events brought upon you in civilized, idyllic discussion. So if you like the show, hit a like, subscribe, and feel free to share any episodes.